am like the quintessential vegan right now. I've got my phone propped up on a tree, which I'm sitting under. It's a fig tree, and I'm eating the figs from that said fig tree. So, yeah, beat that. Yeah. It was kind of a funny thing to, maybe most people have done this. I don't think I've ever actually really done this until lately, when I realised these were actually fig trees. And just like eat as you walk along, because there's like so many of them. It's really nice actually. I brought some back home with me yesterday, and I was sitting down at the table to eat them. I was like, it just isn't the same. Sitting at a table to eat food, it's just not the same. Speaking of sitting at tables to eat food, I went out for dinner last night with Dan, and one of our usual topics of conversation is kids. And we were just talking about how, we do both want children. That's something that we both feel is in the future for us. Like, that's just something that I want kids. I do want to raise children. But the society that we have here, everywhere, generally everywhere, it's kind of not really set up to have kids. We're set up to have your babies in a disgusting hospital, under medication, and then, feed them powdered shit for the first couple of months of their lives, because apparently breastfeeding is, too difficult. And then we bundle off our little baby to hand them over to a stranger while we go to work for how many ever hours a day for the first couple of years of their life. And then we send them off to school to be taught by more strangers who teach them a lot of nonsense for how many years of their life. Most of their first brilliant years of life are spent being made sit down in a classroom, learning stuff, a lot of stuff they don't really need, purely because they need to be kept somewhere in some sort of facility while their parents go to work to earn money, to go on holidays. They kind of, people going on holidays, I think it's such a questionable thing. It's not traveling. I mean, somebody who just goes to any resort that could be anywhere on the planet for 1 week while the parents drink and the kids play in the swimming pool. I don't know. Just because you need to take a break from your real life for a couple of weeks every year, or you'll go absolutely crazy. We're not really, man and woman with kids, it's not enough. Like, the nuclear family is it hasn't always been around. It's actually pretty recent. As in man, husband, wife. This could break. It's a pretty recent thing. So, like, the nuclear family only came about, I don't know. Anyway, the nuclear family is pretty recent. And really the extended family makes a lot more sense to our kids. Like, there's a community of people called the Tamaras, actually here in Portugal. There's about like 120 of them. They're just a society separate from the mainstream, and they just do things a little bit differently. And one of the things they do is cooperative childcare. So, like, basically, if I was part of the Tamaras and I had kids, then the child would be raised, it wouldn't just be down to me and my husband. In fact, my husband probably would have very little, quite a small role in that. But I'm not paying someone and giving them off to strangers to raise my kids. This is my family. This is like my society, where the child is being raised together. We're not set up like that anymore. Like, we tend to live away from our parents, away from our siblings, away from our aunts, away from our uncles. We're not clans, we're not tribes anymore, and we're kind of supposed to be a tribe as far as I'm concerned. Dan and I are lucky because we live in this place called, we call it the sports centre. But like his parents live there, we live there, his brother and girlfriend live there, his aunt lives pretty close, his grandmother lives there. My parents come over a lot and they stay there with us. And my sister, sorry, I don't know, I think it's the food last night. It's fucking a lot more flavoursome than what I'm used to. I don't know if figs make me better or worse. Too much garlic. I fucking hate garlic. Well, I don't hate garlic, but anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said for cooperative childcare, rather than paying some. And you could say like, well, it's the same thing, but it's not really. If you think about it, it's not the same thing. And even when it comes to like educating children, I don't know. I'd like to homeschool kids, but maybe that's insane.